Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Hope your day is going good. I don't know why I just gave a big clap there, but I am going to do my makeup today. It's Thursday morning and I feel like doing kind of a baked makeup routine. Now, I did view a lot of Laura Geller shows on QVC, day before yesterday, and it's kind of reinvigorated my love for baked makeup. I did buy that Today's Special Value. Yes, it's been a long time since I've bought a little Today's Special Value kit, but I bought Laura's the other day. But meanwhile, it's just gotten baked makeup more on the brain. I did a baked look yesterday that wore beautifully well, and I thought today, what if we do just kind of a combined baked look? We'll do some Laura Geller, we'll work in some CoverGirl, some Essence, and just like make a whole thing with it. Sounds fun to me anyway. So I've got my Laura Geller Spackle Skin Perfecting Primer here. This is the original Ethereal Rose Glow. Have not really used this stuff in a while until yesterday, and I'm not really sure why. It's just one of those things that I think kind of needs to be rediscovered. It's honestly like a softer take on the glowy primers that a lot of brands have out. Its glow is extremely gentle. But I used it yesterday and my baked look definitely lasted all day. I need a sip of coffee. I guess when this goes up, it's gonna be Valentine's Day, so that's exciting. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Does that mean I have to take down all my stuff after this video? I don't know, guys. The post-Valentine's Day time really signals to me like a farewell to winter, and I don't love that idea, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta flow with the seasons, right? I'm gonna do some concealer. So this is the thing. Before you're gonna put on baked foundation, I really think it's beneficial to start with, you know, your creamy step first, and then that baked foundation can smoothly go over top. So this is my Maybelline Lifter Concealer. Really like this stuff. My shade is 05. And I'm just gonna put this where I need it, you know, like my under eye area, my usual zones, outer part of the eye. It's a good little concealer. It's got good coverage. It doesn't seem to zap you of all moisture. And then I've got my little e.l.f. Duo brush here to make it really easy. Spread and tap it in. This is the spreading phase here. So you just take that dot, make it take up more room. Yesterday, the kids got all their Valentines filled out to take to their class. And, you know, we had been way ahead of the game. And on Saturday, got the couple of kids that needed to take like a homemade box for Valentine's. We got those done on Saturday. And the paint on Rhett's little mower thing that we made is now starting to peel off of certain areas. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna have to disassemble part of it and, I don't know, find something to wrap it in or what. I don't know why that's happening. Anyway, that's a problem for later. But as you can see, I'm just kind of alternating between the ends of this brush, which is why this brush is so brilliant, is that you can quickly and easily just be like, oh, I need a little more blending right there in that cavern, but then I can flip to this side and just tap it in. I really do it strictly a tapping motion as I'm going over concealer with the larger side of the brush. And what that's doing, I think, is really applying less targeted pressure, but all in all, giving you a soft blend. And then you look at the area and you're thinking, yeah, I do look blended, but I'm still seeing the coverage and everything as well. So that's the great thing about your little e.l.f. Duo brush, as I definitely talked about a lot in my last video. But one other pre-baked thing that you can do is some under eye setting powder as well. Now Laura Geller does have something called her baked blurring and setting powder, and I have it in the shade Porcelain Fair, and that's a nice soft powder too. Yesterday I just really used it like a setting powder for my look, but I'm wondering what happens if I just, you know, use that product on a light little brush on my under eye. It seems like it's plenty light enough. The thing about this to know, like if you're wondering what's different compared to like a Kosas Cloud Set or any other little pressed setting powder, when you put your finger into this, this is very smooth and pigmented actually. I was watching the Laura Geller presentation and she was like, the blurring and setting powder can really be used as a lightweight foundation if you want it to be. Like, it's less coverage than the other baked stuff, but still has some, and it comes in multiple shades. So this Porcelain Fair is the lightest one, and now I'm finding myself just going over all my concealer zones with this because it seems to be working well. But yeah, that's kind of a little known secret, I feel like, from Laura Geller's range is this particular product, because everybody talks about the foundations, but then there's that. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with powder foundation. And for that, you know, as many baked products as we see coming out in the drugstore, all the blushes, bronzers, and highlights, but a brand really isn't cranking out a powder foundation. You know, we're gonna look to Laura Geller for that. And this is her double take, the fuller coverage option from her baked range, and mine is in medium here. And I like to use actually this little retractable Laura Geller brush. I just like the density, the shape and size. I get some product on there. I find myself kind of rolling the brush on the surface, and then I start swiping it on my skin, doing a little combo of buffing and tapping. But it really is beautiful coverage. It's hard to mess up. It's a little more coverage than Balance and Brighten, but that's a beautiful product too. And I could totally get by with that too. You know, I've concealed areas on purpose where I really want to conceal. I don't have to have full coverage all over after that, but I just love the way this product looks. Anytime I think about Valentine's Day, I go back to the days when, that was when Bub and I first got together, was a sweetheart dance, and it was junior year of high school. So it's a special time of year. I mean, when choosing the color of bridesmaid dresses for my wedding, I went with Valentine's colors. Light pink, dark pink, red. I thought it was pretty, but it took me back to a time when our relationship was really brand new, although we'd been friends for a while. See, look at that, so even. So good. And I feel like Laura Geller's makeup continues to look even better, like as it rests on your skin. I think the warmth of your face works with, you know, what started as creams. I love the factory clips that they were showing during the QVC presentation of how they're smushing cream product onto the terracotta tiles. And then I can't remember what she said the process was for how they smooth it into the round dome, but I'm pretty sure she said that that happens by hand. And she was talking about how complicated it can be to do the compacts where it's multiple shades like in one. I can imagine that would be really difficult. But the next step I'm coming to is bronzer, and I'm going to use my CoverGirl Baked bronzer. Bring in some CoverGirl Baked. This is the True Blend Skin Enhancer that I have in Caramel Truffle. It's a really good product. I would say if we're comparing it back to Laura Geller's products, like her Bronze and Brighten bronzers, it's more subtle than that. Like, I'm putting my brush in, nothing's kicking up. That's a user-friendly quality, right? But I feel like Laura Geller's just have a lot of immediate pigment. This one, you can see it's warming me up a little, and I like it. We've also got Milani's Baked bronzers that have been relaunched. I did a whole detailed video a week ago on that, so check out the Milani video for more specifics there. But this shade from CoverGirl, while I am gonna contour with it, it feels like such a true bronzer to me. Like the way it's just kind of warming up my skin feels very classic bronzer. So I'm gonna not only sort of hit the contour of my cheek, but I'm gonna be taking that up too. Almost hitting like sort of a blushy place there, okay? I got some kind of hair on me and I'm just gonna hit it off. But much like Laura Geller's products, we're seeing that true swirl of different tones in here. To touch the product, it doesn't quite have the richness of a Laura Geller feel. Like you put your finger in, you really pick up a lot of pigment. I think that's the main difference that I see between the drugstore stuff and Laura Geller is kind of the immediate pigment. But not just that, because some of the drugstore stuff is really pigmented too, but like kind of a richness in feel paired with that pigment, okay? It's as though the Laura Geller products are maybe like not pressed in as hard or something, but yet they're not flaky. They're not hard to control ever. But anyways, here we are with some CoverGirl Caramel Truffle, just really all over the face. Next, I do have a blush from Essence from their Soft Baked line, and the shade is Cocoa Glaze. I know I'd shown this among some new products, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that in a future video, and so here we are, the future video, and I'm using my e.l.f. blush brush. It's picking up with zero powdery, dusty fallout. And I'm gonna put this here, a little bit back on the cheek, and just let it, you know, kind of come down ever so slightly. I'm not seeing a wild amount of shine with it, but a really pretty color. Sometimes you see that and you think that's hard to know what I'm gonna get. So at some angles it looks straight up brownish, at others you're seeing more mauve, but I would say all in all it's coming off warmer on my skin than I might have expected. Anybody else notice how that's pulling some warmth? But I like it. Yes, I do. All the worlds of baked coming together. It is giving, I think, some soft additional glow to my skin, but I like that it's not a glow that's immediately like shouting at you. You kind of have to hone in and see that gleam on the cheeks as I turn my head. And then I think we go to Milani for a highlighter. Could have used Milani for the blush or bronzer steps too, because they've got it all, but I'm just trying to spread the love. Okay, I'm gonna use their soft, pretty highlight here in that Dolce Perla shade in their new packaging, as you can see. This one just turns out to be a real sweet spot, I think, on the cheeks. It can give you that little spotlighted gleam, but it really is a soft, pearly finish, not a big metallic swipe, you know? So I get it on there and then I just kind of buff it out. And it really makes you think about the look and say, was this a powder look? You know, was this all powder foundation layered with a bunch more powders? You get a good highlight involved, it makes you question what's going on. Just looking so fresh. And then this was what I did yesterday. I took the Laura Geller Baked Blurring and Setting, just kind of went in with a larger type of brush. This is from that Monge TikTok shop set. And I just kind of went over everything, almost like a finishing touch hourglass kind of powder. We could have worked in some hourglass, I guess. And just like let it be this veil over the entire look. And everything looks so complete and so pulled together. Don't you love that? Really enjoying what's come together so far with the makeup. So I'm gonna round up some baked eyeshadow and meanwhile do my brows, so I'll be back. Alrighty friends, I did my brows. I used Benefit Precisely my brow pencil in the Morphe Micro Manager Gripping Brow Gel, and I put on my little e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. And I'm looking around and I'm realizing I don't currently own any baked eyeshadow that's like actually being sold. The couple of baked palettes that I have from Laura Geller are not being sold anymore, so I want to use something that's relevant. And you know what I went back to? This little guy. Why not this Essence Soft Baked in the Cocoa Glaze? Because when I first bought it, my thought was eyeshadow, you know? So let's try it. Let's just see what it turns out to be like on the eyes. I'm talking like crease, lid, let's see. So I'm taking my crease brush from Profusion. It's not kicking up any fallout, so I feel like this is going to be easily controlled. But how is it going to be that different from a lot of shades I might gravitate toward on the eyes? Look at this. Laura Geller has a neat little palette that has like just 3 baked mini pans or tiles, I guess I should say. They're not in pans, but I think it was a bronzer, a blush, and like a split pan eyeshadow. I'd like to have that. And other Laura Geller eyeshadows that I have like outside of the baked palettes are just her pressed stuff, which is fantastic, but we're trying to keep it baked. And we could work with a baked bronzer this way easily, no doubt. But this shade just seems very multitasker-ish. So we're just working it in the crease like it's eyeshadow. And frankly, it's doing fine. It's not too dark. I now wish to pat it on with a flat brush. I need a little more. There we go. Patting it on the lid, throwing it back to the One Shadow Look days. Look at that. Very enjoyable. And it's not looking too like reddish or rosy or anything. It's just a very muted shade color-wise. And then I'm picturing pulling in some of that Milani highlighter to spotlight the innermost corner. But I do want this over most of my eyelid here. Almost the whole entire thing. A little blending. Just softening it out a little bit here on the outside with a bare brush. I think that looks good. And then I'm taking Milani Dolce Perla. A little bit of that could go up high here. Just ever so softly. And then taking my Morphe Medium Flat Brush, same shade. This isn't your most wildly super shiny highlight, but I can still see it giving me a little brightness in here. Don't have baked eyeshadow? Yes, you do. There's a really muted shade of the CoverGirl Baked Blush. I can't think what the shade name is, but I've seen people show it. That seems like it could multitask probably too. Let me know if you have it and you've tried that, but that looks good. Then I'm going to do some lazy liner. I'm taking Laura Geller's Kajal Longwear Liner Smoky Amethyst Kohl, which she has a whole new set of these, if they're still in stock on QVC. I had posted a link the other day, because I always do when there's a deal, because even compared to L'Oreal's Lace Shadow Sticks, you wouldn't be able to get them at that price buying that many. It's like a 5-piece set of some really good looking shades, including this one that's kind of like a dusty plum. So I'm just applying that in very easily along my upper lash line. And there is the little sharpener tip on the other end, so you can form this to be as precise as you want. Like if you would rather have this operate pretty close to a normal eyeliner, you can get that tip formed to the way it originally comes, you know, which is quite pointy. And then we use them a lot, we round them off a little. I had kind of reformed this one just a little bit. I'd given it just a little more direction. But some shades are softer, some shades are deeper. This is definitely on the deeper end of what is sold, and it really feels like, I don't know, a regular eyeliner. But then you can put it down here a little, smudge it. They lock in place and they don't move. And as much as I love the L'Oreal Lace Shadow Sticks, when I see a grouping of these from Laura Geller, I know, like, well, that's a deal that you can't even find at the drugstore to get that many for that price. I just smudged a little on the outer part of my lower lash line. We don't need anything really stark. It's just a very soft shadow look today. I'm gonna throw on mascara and I'll be back. Alrighty guys, the eye look is complete. I just added on my Benefit Bad Gal Bang, which I am realizing is really good for curl holding. So I just kind of keep reaching for that lately while I've got one open, and then I use my e.l.f. lash extender on the lower lashes. Can you find me a baked powder lip color? Someone would probably argue that you could get some Vaseline on your finger and mix it in with a baked blush and create a color there, but I'm just gonna use a lip color, okay? I have some of these Italian marble lipsticks from Laura Geller. They're really pretty, and I just feel like I haven't given them enough time or attention. They're beautiful. They are like a little work of art. Just like, can I get that as a countertop, please? It's lovely. This is the shade called Berry Vanilla. And so this is gonna be my main shade all over my lips. And I've got the Mauve Side lip liner from e.l.f. that I might work into this too, because I know this is light, but it's pretty. But these lipsticks are so smooth and soft. Pretty. Also, we got magnetic closure. And then I'm going to take Mauve Aside, like I said, a little deeper. Sorry, I got to get my mirror into this. Wait a minute. I got to sharpen this. It's getting shorter. Don't like to feel that wooden edge along my lip line. There we go. Best sharpener persona. So my lips are real creamy right now, but I'm just taking this in around the edges. It's going to give me more of a border. It's just going to be a little definition. But I'm still going to have that pretty lightness. The creaminess. Work a little bit in so it looks good and blended, but I like it. This is my baked face of the day, friends. Thank you so much for watching. We have the Laura Geller products to thank for giving us some beautiful coverage. We went to CoverGirl for the bronzer, Essence for the blush and the eyes. Extra credit there. Milani for that pretty highlight, which a little highlight on top of your baked face I think goes a long way because it makes the face look so fresh, even though it's literally all powders, but it feels light. Like I don't feel like anything heavy is really on there. But we did do, you know, that Maybelline concealer where we needed it. And I think that's a really good first step leading into your all over baked stuff. And by the way, as I mentioned, I did pick up that Laura Geller Today's Special Value that was shown the other day. And I first held off because I'm like, I own a Baked Balance and Glow, which was the foundation product that was in it. So her glowier take on powder foundation. And then I thought, well, I have it in light. I'll ask for it in medium in this set, but I was really intrigued by their Wonder Balm. What did they call it? Was it Wonder Balm? A new kind of blush that made me think, is this going to be like a Jones Road kind of thing? I'm not sure, but it looked really pretty. There's a beautiful gloss in there, and there was a mascara that I really wanted to try too. So I saw that in the morning, and then by afternoon, I'm like, okay, I think they got me sold on this. So if I come on here in the coming weeks with another baked look, it's going to be probably a little glowier look. Let me know if you want to see it in action. I think it's going to be fun. But thank you everyone for watching today. I hope you have a great weekend, a happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you again soon. I love you. Bye.